News Ghana TV so ena yedre abusuafo edo bi ase se mwajibre na moni yedituma no we are so super happy about you and so yes adense foforo ba se Frank nie na nsemo na ede ba no se na no wada ye wo ha no mo na NPP amanyokuo no omo parliamentary candidate ba ko yewura NS Kumi NS ya okumi woto ananam e wonse do tine kire se kwa bia so no wo se omko no kwa by election na by election omko no eno so a ekasuro dodo omako hwie egu a che so mantu amfa koto anya nkwan na no ana ebisabisa kane health minister ewura oko boy yes Bernard oko boy ebisa nse na ba nsen no se wa oni tua se Ghana for 2024 abaye 2 yi nipa dodo na ema yehu se aban nyama bebroye no na nkoyi na se otunidi the sense of the government any ade it is nkofo bumfu area feed ya adena wosan akosa okoye okoto aba na se na it looked obvious se kwa bia saba no ombetumi aluzi yankoni nkotie yewura Bernard Oko Boy, former MP for Lejekuku and then former Deputy Minister of Health and of course former Minister of Health. Yanko yeba bedin kobo.
First of all, I'm not too surprised. Now, if you watch, I mean, generally in every democratic practice or dispensation, political parties have places where they are comfortable, where we refer to as their strongholds. Then there are constituencies that swing, or if not swing, can actually be won because the margin of victory over the years is not that much.
Yeah.
Now, remember that a lot of people go into the polling booth to vote with the assumption that the parliamentary candidate they are voting for would have his or her government win the presidential election, as in they win power. Mm. That assumption is there. So if you have 100 voters, let's say, queuing to vote for, let's say, honorable, town computer. In their mind, about 30 or 40 would assume that it is his government or political party that will win the presidential. Now, these 30 or so people, should they show them, I mean, should you move ahead of time to show them that, okay, it's not Tanko's party that is winning the presidential as an executive. It's possible some of them will not give to him. The same applies to the MPP. So you always have some number of people who vote with the assumption that power will come to you. In fact, should they know that power is not coming to you, they might not vote for you. Mm. Now, this group of voters, immediately power is determined or the presidential is determined. And it so happens that you are now going to choose who a parliamentary candidate is. The party that did not win the power is in trouble.
True.
So these dynamics are consistent. And that's why someone pulled out the statistics that out of 34 by-elections we've had in the Fourth Republic, only about 5 or so, in fact only 4, went to the opposition. Because people are rational in their behavior.
Yeah.
You know, so that is one of the reasons why I am not surprised that the NDC won this election. And even before going to Akwatia, I jokingly told a friend that the NDC is like Liverpool now. They are in top 4. You see, the NDC as a party is like Liverpool. Wow. Or those times when Has was beating Kotoko all the time. I remember those times we always, I'm a Kotoko fan, we always say that we are doing rebuilding. The MPP is a party that is now trying to even get the house in order, in court, as we speak.
But I think Chelsea will be much better than Liverpool.
Oh, well, Chelsea. I mean, depending on where you're coming from.
Chelsea is in top form.
But if you want to avoid heart attacks and other problems, it's safer to be with Liverpool. Be with the winning team. You know?
So man, you will give me heart attack.
Oh, of course. You have heart issues. When your expectations are always dashed, you know, you end up having cardiac
Chelsea are world champions.
Club.
Yes.
There's a difference between a world champion and a club. You know, so the NDC today is like Liverpool. They are in top form. So when you are going at them or going to play the NDC, you know that you are in for a very, very tough match. And it does not also mean that when you belong to the other team playing Liverpool, you go like, oh, we are going to lose this election. You don't, or lose this match. You don't talk like that. So, bottom line, we tried our best to win this seat. But with incumbent on the side of the NDC, it was going to be tough. But even prior to that, we went into a general election not long ago. And the majority of this country said that, look, we believe in the message and promise of the NDC. And by extension, we have some issues with you as a political party. Anyone who says that everything about the NPP was a mess is just being politically, is speaking political language. There are many things you can recount that have added to the development of this country, both human and physical development, during the 8 years. And with time, you see through some of the projects of even this government, a lot of the things that they'll be doing, you can see that had their roots in the previous regime. So it's not a government that was a banana republic. But the truth also is that there were things that happened that Ghanaians were not happy with. And we can list some. So 6-7 months is too short a time to forget the sins of a government that you've pushed out. My brother, if they tell you the sins of the NDC in 2016, between 2016 and 2017, if you ask any Ghanaian, they will recount a lot. By 2023, 2024, if you attempt to tell a Ghanaian the sins of the NDC, they get upset with you. Because sins fade with time and promises carry hope. As the sins fade, as the NDCs faded with time, the promises they brought on board carried more hope for the Ghanaian. I don't think the dynamics have changed too much from the December. So these are all things that make them a formidable group. But I would urge them or caution them to act with humility. You know, sometimes when I see some of their guys speaking, they speak as if there are some connoisseurs at elections, management and execution. But you know the funny thing, when all is said and done, the outcome of an election is not necessarily the ingenuity of the hundreds of the political party. It is the will of the man who is walking the streets. So imagine, if with all that we did, majority of Ghanaians said, look, and that happened in the, which election? There was a recent election in, I think, Australia or so. Okay. In Australia, where the incumbent was facing some challenges because of economic issues and all that. But fortunately for the government, the opposition was very right-wing. They were speaking the language of Trump and others. And then the public went like, look, is it safer to be with these guys who have issues by themselves they work on, or to change and go to a radical? And then they stayed with the government. So the point I'm making is that it is what the citizenry decides to do that will determine your fate as a political party. They decided that, no, we will let go of this government. We want a new government in the NDC. And so credit the Ghanaian public and voter. Let's credit the viewer who is discerning, who was able to judge that MPP had to go because of the issues they had or because of the promise you carried. And let's stop overflogging our competence and expertise at elections. You get what I mean?
But it's interesting you're saying this, because I vividly recall that post-2016 elections, one of the things that you kept using against the NDC at the time was that they were incompetent at collating their results. Yeah. Okay, of course, you went ahead to talk about their poor management of the economy, etc., etc. So the point I'm trying to make here is that you don't think that, yes, even if there is an overwhelming decision to vote in a certain direction,
they also put their house in order.
They also have to, both of you,
of course,
have to put your house in order in order to protect the vote, as you've been saying all the time.
No, absolutely. I mean, yes. But my comment here doesn't mean that they did zero job.
Okay, that's
no. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I guess.
It's obvious that, I mean, may he so rest in peace. My senior in medical practice, Dr. Boama and his team, all of them, they did. In fact, they were humble to learn and improve on their expertise at collation. And this time they did a fantastic job. Okay. Right. But where the talk is like all that happened is as a result of their overwhelming expertise and competence.
I follow. I copy. I get it.
So, I mean, I am giving it to them that they are strong now. The majority of the public is with them. But they should remember that we were in a similar position some years ago. Yeah. And so what they should pray is to, you see, it is easy to forget why people gave you power. Because when you get the power, it's a different environment. But you have to remind yourself constantly, why did Ghanaians vote for me? They voted for you because a lot of people have expectations. People want jobs. People have issue with, let's say, the stability of the currency. So when you work on those things, then you are likely to live long. You know what I mean? But if you forget it and think that you are so much loved, and I've quoted Tony Blair in one of his books, he said, when a politician thinks that people voted for him because they love him, when their expectations start fading, they realize they are not getting what they promised you. The same people who used to smile at you are likely to start frowning. And so I would just say that they are a formidable team now. I don't pray. I wouldn't pray that they fail. Because if they fail, we'll all struggle. But the point is that three things normally help for an opposition party to win power. The first is internal organization, which agrees with what they are saying. We have to reorganize. And I must say that if they are scoring us as a party, of course, we are not going to score 100% in terms of the outlook, how we are behaving and all that. Normally, defeat comes with some storms. So those who are also criticizing us, they should have some mercy. Because a party that goes to an election and suffers such a huge defeat, automatically, it's like being slapped by somebody. Before you even come to your senses, you might act funny because you are not in the right frame. So ultimately, we'll work on and become strong. We need a strong internal organized party as one of the three things needed to win power. The other one is the performance of the incumbent. If the incumbent is not able to meet the expected threshold of the public, and you as an opposition party are very organized, and the third one is the grace of God comes together, then a political party can be pushed out and another one can come. So for now, we have to be patient. We have to take our time and go through our internal organization as we are trying to do, and look at the performance of the Tanko computer and its team, and be able to critique them where critique is necessary, so that at the end of the day, we see what would emerge 4 years down the line.
But at least, would you say, and I'm interested in your verdict, would you say it's been a fair, transparent process? I'm talking about elections,
but you see,
from where you sit and what you know.
You see, politicians, sometimes when we are looking for power, we go the extreme. Let's be very candid in this country.
Okay.
You see the opposition going strongly at the Electoral Commission because sometimes our decisions don't go their way. But let's be frank. It's not all the time that a decision will go the way you want it. There are times it will not go away. I'm saying this for you to know that some of the criticism thrown at those who manage elections sometimes is out of the overzealousness and extreme partisanship of political party handlers. This Electoral Commission conducted a by-election when we were in power, Moro, at Asin what?
North.
Yes. And we were beaten handsomely. That is one of the strongest signals to tell that Ghana has gone far in terms of democratic and electoral management.
Right.
Yet, even going 2024, there were still some who were pressing the neck of those at the EC. After the elections, the NDC won handsomely. In fact, you could see the will of the people coming up at many places, which is reflected in the over 180-something seats. Yet some of them, because of predetermined mind about some people, said there are still issues at the Electoral Commission. I'm saying this for you to know that it's not today that I'll judge the EC as having behaved well based on the outcome of Akwatia. They've shown long time. But even in the midst of their fairness, because of the behavior of politicians, things are thrown out there that these guys are fun, they have to go. How can you have a body that makes you come to power with a margin that has not been seen before? When you were the opposition, still claim that these guys are sick and had to go. So the point I make is that when we are fair and candid, there are some comments that will start going slow on, like these guys are incompetent. Ghana is a shining example to many countries, many parts of the world. Only few countries do you have an opposition party coming into power with such overwhelming victory. And it is my prayer that some of their predetermined and conceived biases about the Electoral Commission, with time, they will work on themselves so that we move together as one united nation.
All right, Jebushawe, a former Minister of Health, Bernard Oko Boy, then some of their two girls say Ghana for and answer Akwatia for a rem fee or how any ateti Ghana for Duana eka say amo ewum na MPP abanso na don firm nende o sa ko premiership dunia asem da ho a chese na enye that easy ba me madwen check akra ne say definitely akotiafo eto aban because some ni say aban owo aban mu no ono ene bebo won busua say na won so adwen obia no fa comment bra comment section like program na share na fama amafo so nya bi hwe nyame yadoma yes share bi on News Ghana TV.